what it do?
You are now
Qui'N In with the one and only Schivonne, as she lock in with the dopest
Christian hip hop,
gospel and inspirational artists from all over. Bringing you the dopest, exclusive interviews that you get here and only here first. Powered by yours truly
Live Loud Legacy.
and Visionary Vision.
Qui'N In. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiki Simone, and welcome to Qui'N In. I am super excited to continue on our path that we've been having this month for the month of July in regards to our CHHYs. But as you know, on Qui'N In, what you're gonna get is you're gonna have an opportunity to hear some conversations with some great people, entrepreneurs, creatives, and all that good stuff, talking about kingdom character. But this time we are really looking at our CHH wives, and I'm so super excited, y'all, because this young lady here, she is royalty, okay, y'all? She is royal. She is CHH royalty, in my opinion, okay? So without further ado, this is AKA Schivonne Felder, AKA Mrs. Bizzle. He doesn't even need an introduction, but welcome, Schivonne. How you doing, lady?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful and delightful because I got you here on the show. I'm super excited. I was so looking forward to this episode. Y'all have absolutely no idea how much I absolutely love this woman and have only encountered her in person like maybe once or twice, something like that.
Maybe twice, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so super excited, y'all, because this lady right here, she is not only the wife of Bizzle, or who I call Mr. Bizzle. She is also a realtor. She's a fashionista, if y'all ever seen her page. She definitely got that fashion thing going on. And she is a mom of two wonderful, handsome young men, and she does so much in her community. So I just want y'all to get to know a little bit more about her, and we're gonna talk a little bit about, you know, what she does for biz and all the things that she does just as Schivonne, you know. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, Schivonne, as I stated just a moment ago, you are a realtor, and you are a fabulous one at that, because I follow the page. I'm just saying, some really nice homes. Now, if you could pick your top 3 things that you would have in your dream home, what would they be?
My top 3 things would be kitchen. I have to have an amazing kitchen. Open floor plan. Just open. I like the openness, and I like natural light to be able to come into my home. So, floor to ceiling windows, and I think I'm going more than 3. But my top pick would be closet. I want a a huge walk-in closet to myself. Big enough that I could like put a little sofa set up in and sleep in there if I wanted to. Just big enough. I wouldn't sleep in there, but big enough that I could.
Yes, we got the same 3 things: the kitchen, the closet, and the open floor plan, just to be able to entertain people whenever we get ready to.
Exactly.
I absolutely, let's see, y'all. We like twins in realty or housing. I don't even know what to call it, but we're twinning today, okay? Now, Schivonne, I know a little bit about this, but I want the people to know a little bit more about you. In regards to having a hidden talent, do you have one? Or is there something that, you know, you don't let people know about too often as far as a hidden talent?
I don't think I really have any hidden talents. Like, I can't sing. I can't, like, I don't know. I don't have any hidden talents, but I always wanted to be an actress growing up. So I loved acting growing up. I loved theater. I was always in a theater, some type of theater class, some type of choir, theatrical, all of that. Like, I wanted to be an actress when I grew up. So maybe that's like a hidden talent. I haven't really explored it too much. My husband is like, you need to like explore, like get into it. And sometimes I'm like, I think I'm too old, but she's like, you're not too old. Why you so many actresses? But I don't know, maybe one day. My kids are doing it now, so I'll support them in their in their career, in their endeavors. But I don't know, maybe one of these days.
Okay. Now, Schivonne, I gotta tell you and everybody else something. So acting used to be something I used to love to do. And so I was in a play in The Wizard of Oz. And can you guess what my role was? Do you know what my role could have been? Take a guess.
The Lion.
I wish.
I only say that because natural hair, it's like it's giving lioness. It's beautiful. I love the curls.
Thank you. I was the mayor of the Munchkins. So
wow.
And I was also the Wicked Witch as well. So I know all of the words.
Play double.
Yes. Okay. So maybe we had that in common too.
Yes.
So
twinning all day.
We twinning, y'all. Y'all see that, right? We twinning for real. Schivonne, now, you and Bizzle, you all have been married for a good length of time. Can you share with us, like, how long y'all have been married?
We've been married for 13 years. It made 13 years in May, this past May. And we've been together for 23 years, going on 23 years.
Oh my goodness. That's all I can say is OMG. I mean, some people don't even make it to that age, let alone be married that long. So y'all must have got married, or y'all must have known each other, got together when y'all was like 2. Cause y'all ain't aged. Y'all haven't aged at all.
Thank you. Yeah, we gonna keep that number.
Okay, we can keep it. We can definitely keep it. Now let's talk about y'all relationship when it comes to you as the wife. Like, have you been protective of Biz, or are you that wife that's like, he good, he could do, whatever he need. I don't really feel I need to be protective of him. Have you ever been in that space where you just feel like, oh, I need to protect my man?
Yeah, I think I'm in the middle, somewhere in the middle, because I definitely know, like, he's very strong-willed. Like, he's very y'all listen to the music. like he's not gonna let you run over him. So there are times I'm like, yeah, he's good. He got this. He's gonna say what needs to be said. He's not gonna let you take advantage of him. But there are times where, and mostly because people are, pretty respectful, like in person. It's mostly just with social media and online. People get super disrespectful. So sometimes I just be wanting to get in the comments and like go off.
That part.
But I'm like, you know what? Let me leave it alone, because then I say something and they say something back, and then he sees it, he gets it's just this whole thing. So I'm like, I'm gonna just sit back, but it does get frustrating, and I get protective of him, because a lot of the times people are just talking and have no idea what they're talking about, have no idea what the real is.
Yes, I definitely can agree with that. Just being a CHH wife myself, like, I have felt that towards my husband, whether I agree with, what they said or not. Like, I just, I would still be protective, because, that's your husband. That's, the person that you're with. And I, even if I'm just honest, I have been protective of your husband too, in the comments as well. So I'm just saying, I think that people don't realize that they're human, and that these individuals have families, and, the wives, the children, they see all those comments, and to, be all up in their comments, talking sideways. I just be wanting to say some stuff, but my husband be like, babe, you're probably never going to meet him. So, might as well.
Exactly. It's the truth. Like, and you're probably never going to see him. And if you do see him, they won't have the same energy. Like,
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Now, continuing about your marriage, for you as a wife, creating a safe space for your husband, have you always created that safe space for him to be able to come to you whenever things are, not going so great, or even when they are going great? Have you always allowed for yourself to be that person that he needs to come to, or have you ever been that person that's just been like, you the antagonizer, so he don't want to come to you? Have you ever been in that space before?
I think I don't think I've ever been the antagonizer, but I think I have in some situations and at some point have not created that safe space just from maybe a previous conversation on my reaction towards it, the way I've reacted. It can cause a person to kind of shut down or step back and be like, well, I'm not bringing this to this person no more if they're going to react like that. So yeah, I think in the past that has happened. Now, I've grown and I've taken, some of those things to the Lord and prayed about it, and I have definitely gotten better. I feel like as creating a safe space for him, in that aspect, I feel like I've done a better job of that now.
That's good.
But yeah, I don't think I have. I can be honest and say that.
Yes, and I think that as wives that we have to realize that we're married to who's supposed to be our best friend. Like, we're supposed to be each other's best friend. But sometimes we don't create that space because, and I'm so guilty, my reactions have not always been good, and it kind of forces him or pushes him to go to another person to be that safe space when we're supposed to be that safe space. So it's really dope to see how, you can recognize that and then say, you know what, God, I think I need to be a little bit better for my husband, because ultimately that's still our brother in Christ. We may not want to look at it that way, but they are, Now, what about when it comes to submitting, the big S word? Submission is super, it's taboo, and it's something that people don't like to hear. And I literally almost got into something on social media because someone talking about, men and women and the submission part for women. What do you think submission is supposed to look like in a marriage in 2023?
I feel like one, I think it's just such a hot button or hot topic or a taboo because it has become a negative word. Like, people have used it in the wrong way. People have, maybe some men have used it selfishly or, just to control. But I feel like submitting. One, I feel like it's easy to submit to your husband when he is being led by God. Like if he's being the leader that God has made him to be, if he's going to God for wisdom and things like that to lead his family, it's easy to submit because he won't steer you in the wrong direction. He won't, you know what I'm saying? So that's not a hard thing for me because I know that my husband is going to God. I know that he's asking God how to lead his family. I know that he's using wisdom from God to lead our family. So that's what it really looks like. Submitting would be a lot easier for the wife when the husband is submitted to God, pretty much.
I 100% agree with that. That's really a good response because ultimately, when it comes to submission, I mean, it's biblical, for us as wives. So we don't have a choice in it, Sometimes, we do have to submit, under an authority if our husbands are not, necessarily following God the way that he should be. But ultimately, we're still in covenant. So we still got to do our part. Now, yes, definitely. Now, I want to ask this question. Well, I ain't even going to say ask this question. First, I got to tell y'all, Schivonne is the GOAT of what I call the epitome of support, okay? She got this down pat. Like, She can write the book. She can do the, the 5 steps, the 10 steps. She could do a master class, like, on all of that when it comes to support. I just really think that, like, you are so awesome when it comes to support, and it shows in, what your husband does. But not only that, his song called Hold Me Down is all about you. And if y'all haven't listened to that song, y'all need to go back and listen to Hold Me Down, because if you don't know what Schivonne has done or is doing, I need y'all to go back and listen to that. Okay, that's one of my top favorite Bizzle songs. But Schivonne, tell me, has support always been something that you found to be important in your relationship with Bizzle, or is that something you had to grow to do? Tell us a little bit about what support, how you supported your husband, from the beginning. Is that something you had to really learn?
So I feel like supporting him came easy to me from the very beginning, because I believed in him. I believed in his gift. I believed in his talent. Like, I always thought he was super dope. Like, like growing up, I love music. I was a hip hop head. Like, that's one of the things that we bonded on when we were younger in the high school. Cause like I was a hip hop head. I would be like, I got this new, I would have new mixtapes, and it's like, I'm a girl. Like, hey, what you know about this this person? But yeah, I always believed in him, and I always supported his talent. Like, I was, always at his shows. Even though sometimes he wouldn't want me to go, just because he gets super nervous when I'm there. But and in the studio, I would be there with him. Like, I always just wanted to support him, even before the CHH. And when he moved over to CHH, I just wanted to support him even more. We had both gotten saved, and I just felt like it was just awesome what he wanted to do, where his career was going. And God really used him in so many different ways. So even when he moved over to CHH, I had been working, I had been working for the NBA and kind of like the concert arena here in Houston, for the Houston Rockets in the arena. So I did like PR and media relations. So at the beginning of his CHH career, I would do all his press releases and everything, all the things I learned from my prior job, I just kind of, moved it over to here and with helping him. So it kind of all worked out. So I've always supported him. That was never a thing that didn't come easy to me.
Wow. So y'all heard that, right? She used to work for the NBA, y'all, the National Basketball Association, okay? And she was doing the same thing in the NBA that she's doing for her husband. So he got top notch. I told y'all she was royalty. She know exactly what she's doing. Super intelligent, super humble too, on top of that. Now, also, I want just tell us just a little bit, if you could pick your favorite destination that you've had to go on with your husband, where would that have been? What's your favorite spot that you and Bizzle went to?
My favorite spot would probably, to this day, I think it would be when we went on a safari in Africa. Yeah, we were in South Africa, and we went. I can't even remember the name of the country where we were, but we had flown from Mozambique to there, so it's close to Mozambique. I know that. But the safari, we did a sunset and sunrise safari. Is like one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had.
Wow,
it was beautiful.
Would you say it's more beautiful than over here in the States?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can't even ask why, because I'm pretty sure it's absolutely gorgeous over there. Last question before we let you go ahead and go. That question is going to be, as a wife, we've talked about you being a supporter of your husband. We talked about the things that you've done, and how how protective you've been over your husband. Let's talk about if you were able to give advice to a young lady who is the wife now of a new Christian hip hop artist and just coming onto the scene or whatever, what advice would you give that particular person, young lady? And it could be the opposite too, but we gonna talk about wives right now. But what advice would you give to that young lady who is saying, okay, I want to support my husband. Like, what am I gonna do? What advice would you give her?
I would say the main thing, and support can come in different ways, but the main thing I would say is keep your husband in prayer, because as a minister of the gospel, as CHH artists, they will be fighting battles. They are fighting battles that we do not understand, that we don't know about, and the enemy will be attacking them because they're doing the Lord's work. So they need all the prayer that they can get. I would say that, that's the main thing.
Yes, you cannot ignore prayer at all. At all. So, I think that's probably, I don't think you can go any higher than prayer, Schivonne. I don't think you can get any higher than that.
Yeah, and it may seem like cliche or the typical answer, but it's the truth. Like, that's the only thing, the best advice I could give you.
I think that's really that's a wise decision, wise counsel, because a lot of people just come in thinking like, hey, I'm just my husband is a CHH artist, and they could potentially come in just thinking, oh, I'm just supporting my husband and that's it. And support is just like, let me just go to the shows. Let's enjoy, doing the merch table or something like that. But when you're in ministry, it's so much more than just being there to rap some lyrics and hand out some merch or take a picture, or it's so much deeper than that, honestly. And I don't think that we realize it.
Yeah, there's spiritual warfare going on, and they are being attacked.
Right.
And you need to combat that with prayer.
Yeah, you can't do anything greater than to invite the Holy Spirit to be there to cover them. And then also one of the practices, and I'm just sharing this, like whenever my husband go out, I always, as soon as he get off the stage, my mother-in-law, or should I say, I call her my mother-in-law, or I call her mama. She always told me, like, as soon as your husband gets off the stage, whenever he goes to minister, or whenever he's, preaching or teaching or whatever it is he's doing, that you be that first person there to pray with him, because he's poured out, and so now you've got to be able to allow God to, pour back into him, because other people are getting ready to start, hey, T-Strike, hey, T-Strike, everybody trying to touch him and all that. And you don't know, like you said, the spiritual warfare of the spirits that people are bringing. So you've got to cover them even after they've poured out.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that very, very, I don't know. At first it was like, oh, I don't want to, kind of be in the front, when he coming off stage. But then after a while, it was just different.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think that's really dope. Now, Schivonne, I also, I did say that was your last question, but I do have one more thing to talk about you as a female, and what you're doing as well as a realtor. How important is it for your Christianity, for you to display your kingdom character when you are, out and about doing your realtor work? Like, how important is that representation of Christ?
It's really important because you want people to trust you. And I feel like that helps them, to trust you more. It's a big, especially in that business, that's a big purchase. People get really scared like that. It's a lot of money being, being able to that thing. So people want to be able to trust you, know that you have integrity, know that you're not going to steer them the wrong way, know that you're going to tell them the right thing and not just be about self. So it really is a big part of it. It really is a big part of it, and very important.
I think that that's dope, because I don't think that there's a lot of people who necessarily always, I mean, you don't have to go out saying, hey, I'm a Christian realtor, you know, or anything like that. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but I'm also saying you don't have to do that either.
Yeah.
Like, your lifestyle and how you treat people should reflect that, you know, itself. And so as you are out and about, I think it's very important that even those who are in that industry know how to represent well. And being a wife of a CHH artist, you are not only representing, you know, just yourself as your brand, but people know you as Bizzle's wife too. So, you know, it's still a representation either way it goes. So I think people really need to keep that in perspective of whatever it is that they do. Right. Exactly. So I really appreciate you, Schivonne. You are my I don't know what to call it, but you are just that. Whatever that thing is, you are just that. And I am just so excited for everyone to be able to hear more about you, because you are always in the background, but you are always still in very much the forefront because of what Bizzle does. So what you do eventually comes out with him. So I'm just so thankful that you were able to take the time and spend a little time with little old me, you know.
No,
and
thank you for having me. I would definitely have jumped on it, you know, whenever, because you've always been so sweet.
Oh, thank you. Now, before we leave, Schivonne, can you give us your handles so that they can know if they want to buy a house in the Houston area or wherever you are showing homes?
It is at Schivonne. It's SCHIVONNEGOM, and that's my Instagram handle.
Okay. Thank you, lady. I appreciate you. Tell Mr. Bizzle I said hey, that we said hey. And everyone, make sure that you are tuned in every single, well, it might be every other week to our episodes on Qui'N In. Make sure you are following us also on YouTube. Hit that subscribe and notification bell. LOL with Kiki Simone. That's QUISYMONE. And until next time, we'll holla.
Thank you, Kiki.